beautiful Aquarians. I hope you guys are well. We are here, of course, for your reading for August 2026. I hope everything is good in your world, Aqua. It's flipping hot here in the south of France. Now, Aquarius, a really interesting couple of visions that came through for you guys. First of all, I saw someone looking at a bottle of water, but they put something into the water that was quite viscous, oily, and they were trying to mix it. And it just would not mix. The two elements, the oily solution and the water, just kept separating, and they were getting a bit frustrated. I was then shown, very simply, a drone hovering completely still in the air. And then the vision ended. So, Aquarius, you may be in suspension. Okay, you may simply be in suspension. You might have been holding yourself symbolically above the ground for quite a long time. You might have found it difficult to get grounded, or you might have been just looking at that option. What about over there? What about back here? But you haven't made a decision. Now, Aquarius, this could be you simply being intelligent. I'm not going to rush into a situation or land myself in an area or pursue a particular thing until I've looked at absolutely every single angle, which is fine. A very intelligent way of musing, brainstorming with yourself. Yes, of course, you got to look at the pros and cons. But if you stay there too long, you almost get used to it. You get used to being inactive, right? And I think that's where you are now. So whatever this is for you guys, we will find out, okay? The deck that I'm using is a Tarot of Mystical Moments. I'm still offering 50% off all of my readings if you are interested. Limited time only, okay, guys? If you want to join as a member, just press the join button and I list all the decks. Yes, Aquarius, you're in suspension. You're hovering at the moment. But I feel as if you've been there quite a long time, which can be a problem if you do not make any type of movement for, say, another few weeks or another few months, because there will be absolutely no progress. There will be no progress if you continue just to hover, right? So, Archangel Michael, what do we have for my lovely Aquarians, please? This is their reading for August 2026. I saw the Two of Cups flip out, split second. We will see. This could be pertaining to love, Aquarius. Or are you trying to merge? Okay, we could be looking at a much deeper message here. Are you trying to merge your masculine and feminine? Are you trying to separate your masculine and feminine? Or do you want to mix the two? There's a sense of confusion here. It may be you trying to decipher how to approach a situation. Do I approach a situation in a very strong, dominating way? Or do I approach the situation in a much softer, feminine, well, let's see how things go? You don't know. So this could be within yourself. This could be within yourself. And the whole point is, Aqua, you don't want to get it wrong, right? You don't want to get it wrong. Okay. Here we go. The Lovers. Yes, you have a choice. You have a choice, Aquarius. You have a choice. For some of you, you might be thinking about a Gemini. Okay. Crossing that is, whoa, the Queen of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag. So, Aqua, you could be a masculine thinking about a Queen of Wands. You could be wondering whether or not this person will make a choice about you, or you may be trying to make a choice about the Queen of Wands. There is a choice that needs to be made here, And I think you've been hovering in midair. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? In the past, Aquarius, I'm hearing the merging of two, the Two of Cups. In the past, Aquarius, you fell in love. You might have met someone that you felt was just the female or male version of you. There may have been a very close bond. Whether or not it was acted upon is another matter. After that time, Aquarius, okay, you didn't act on it, Seven of Wands. You put up strong defenses because you might have felt held in another situation. So I think the person that you met in the past was actually the Queen of Wands. And you've been deliberating as to whether or not you are ready to make a choice to pursue this connection maybe again. In your thoughts, guys, is the King of Swords. Yes, this is you, Aquarius. Okay, so I could be connecting with a masculine. Now, this could be same sex, of course. You could be a feminine, Sal in your masculine. You've got one eye on the prize. But what is interesting is you may only be seeing one side of the story because we have a bird, which ironically is communication. We have a bird covering one eye. Now, you may simply want a bird's eye view, okay? Or you may not be seeing things clearly. It may be you simply want more information before you make a move. In the immediate future, Aqua is the King of Wands. Now, this is your energy, so I may well be connecting potentially with a guy. You may have a lot of fire in your chart, Aries, Leo, Sag. You are gathering up the courage. You are revving yourself up as such to take action. You are facing the person you want to take action on. Now, this person would be your true counterpart because, of course, we have the King and Queen of Wands. So this lover that you met in the past, this other person you met in the past, was the person that you knew you were actually destined to be with. But I think you were held in another situation. And you might have felt, Aquarius, you couldn't get out, or you may have pulled back to do a lot of thinking. But if that's the case, Aqua, you've been holding yourself in suspension for a very long time. For some of you, it could even be years. What you're recognizing now is this Queen of Wands may be ready to flutter off and meet somebody else, or this Queen of Wands may be taking control of her life, which might suggest there would be a permanent separation. So this Queen of Wands may be deciding to move to another country, right? You might be keeping tabs on her, even though there may not have been any communication for a while. There's something very significant about the fact that she is about to take action. You are noticing this, you are realizing this, you're hovering like a drone above the ground, maybe bird's eye view, keeping tabs on her, I don't know. And so what you're thinking about is, if I don't take action soon, this opportunity is going to be gone forever. And there's a nervousness about that. Okay, all right, I know I haven't taken action for a very long time. I think, Aquarius, you're ready to do it. In your fears, the Ace of Cups. Aquarius, you may feel uncomfortable expressing your emotions here. It may be you're a great communicator. It may be that you move forward with passion, but emotion. It may be that you feel very deeply, Aquarius, but some Aquarian men do find it difficult to say, I love you, do find it difficult to express their feelings. And that might be true for you, Aqua. Now, the Ace of Cups could also be an offer of love, but not necessarily commitment. And we do have the Lovers. So Aquarius, maybe the reason why you've been holding back is you know that you're locked in another situation. You can offer this woman love, but commitment, marriage may be impossible if you are held in a legal or financial situation with another woman. Could be the case. In the environment, is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, this person, this Queen of Wands is on the move. She is about to move much further away from you, Aqua, and this is filling you with fear. Because despite the fact, Aqua, that you needed time to settle your emotions, think about what you wanted to do, there's been no action on your part because you might have felt she would always be around. She would always be in the periphery. You'd always know where she was. I think, Aquarius, she's got fed up with waiting, and I think she's heading off into her future. And that is instigating you to make a move. In your hopes, the Ace of Wands. Okay, so Aqua, you're hoping for love, you're hoping for passion, but is that going to be enough to keep this Queen of Wands, or to bring this Queen of Wands, I should say, back into your life? Is it going to be enough for her? It may be ideal for you, maybe an ideal situation for you if she did accept love and passion and not necessarily commitment, but look at her point of view, Aqua. If you were in her situation, would you say yes if there was no offer of commitment on the table at all? And the outcome. Interesting. The Hierophant. Now, Aquarius, you may be having a heart-to-heart conversation in the future with a Taurian, or you may be thinking very seriously about your marriage. And it might be, Aqua, because what you're realizing is love and passion is just not enough for the Queen of Wands to welcome you back into her life. It's just not good enough. Okay, guys, sadly. Clarification for you, the King of Cups. You want your ships to come in with the Queen of Wands, Aqua. This is what you've been hoping for. This is what you've been hoping for, Aquarius. But with the energy of Temperance, you haven't taken action for quite a long time. Now, for some of you, you could simply be in love with a Sagittarian, okay? Queen of Wands, Temperance. But whatever this is for you, Aqua, I think the biggest message coming through is you know you have been holding back from expressing how you feel. Now, whomever is sat in the Knight of Wands, deciding, okay, well, Aqua's not going to do what I wanted him to do, or okay, I've been waiting long enough, she is preparing to speed off in another direction. Her energy is the Sun. Aquarius, she could have become enlightened that even though you might have feelings deep down for her, there was no action from you. There wasn't going to be any action from you. Yes. 10 of Cups. Enlightened, Aquarius, that you would have made her very happy, but also enlightened, Aqua, that you might have decided to stay in a long-term situation. And so I think she's deciding to head off and pursue something else, pursue someone else. And this is what's making you nervous. Underneath the deck, guys, oh, we have the Knight of Swords. So somebody was angry. Might have been this Queen of Wands. Somebody was angry or would be angry. Okay, 9 of Cups. About some form of overindulgence. Wanting their cake and wanting to eat it too. You might have been afraid that this Queen of Wands, if you pursued her again, would be angry, Aquarius, because I've got to be honest, guys, I don't think anything has changed in your material world. I don't think you are, for instance, discussing separation or divorce from your wife. Nothing's changed. So, Aquarius, are you simply keeping your fingers crossed that if you try again and say to this woman, I'm sorry, but, you know, I do love you. I do want to spend time with you. The reason why you may have been holding back, Aqua, is you might have been nervous that if you approached this woman before with no change at all to your situation, she might look at you and say, well, hang on, Aquarius, why are you pursuing me again? Because I'm not interested in simply being the other woman. Yes, you know, you love me. Yes, you find me attractive. Fantastic. Great for you, but not so great for me because you're not offering me anything stable at all. What's in it for me? Not very much, right? What are you planning on doing? Keeping me on the side to dip into now and again while sitting in, you know, a Ten of Pentacles situation? Convenient for you, not so much for me. So Aqua, you have been nervous about approaching this woman, but I think you're going to do it because what you're recognizing is it's worth a shot, even if she says no, because she's about to permanently head in another direction. So, my lovely Aquarians, Archangel Michael, what do we have for the lovers and the Queen of Wands? Oh, the King of Swords, the female version of the King of Swords. Now, this could represent your partner, Aqua. Whilst you're thinking about, you know, the Queen of Wands, I'd really love to get it together with the Queen of Wands. You may be in a partnership with someone very cold. I've got to be honest. Tell us about this female King of Swords, the Tower. Ooh. Aquarius, there's been a Tower moment between you and your partner. There has been a set to with your partner recently. And with the energy of the Death card, Aquarius, things have drastically changed between the two of you. So if you two were sort of amicable, you and your long-term partner in the past, yes, you know, the passion's gone, but, you know, we're ticking along. Although you may have always been in love with the Queen of Wands. Now, Aquarius, things have got very awkward in the household. And I think you've begun to feel really trapped and in your head as to how to move into a place of happiness, how to feel fulfilled in your life whilst standing in the energy of the King of Pentacles, not really wanting to make a change to a long-term situation financially, basically not potentially wanting to consider divorce. Tell us about the Queen of Swords, the masculine Queen of Swords. Oh, she's hanging on to you because it's nice and stable. So Aquarius, there might have been an uncomfortable acknowledgement that you two weren't getting on. The love wasn't there anymore, but you two wanted to stay together because it was basically nice and stable. You may have had a very honest conversation with each other. We don't love each other anymore. There's no passion here anymore, no romance, no togetherness. We're kind of living in the same house as independent people, but we don't really want to divorce because we're going to lose money. So I don't know whether or not this was a pact, Aquarius, between you and your partner, that you would begin to develop separate lives with other people while still staying under the same roof. So I don't know, Aquarius, whether or not you two almost came to an agreement that you would develop relationships with other people while still staying legally married. Now, I don't know, guys, whether or not you are still living under the same roof or whether or not, Aqua, you are living separately, but you have agreed to stay married, so both of you retain your stability. I think, Aquarius, that is why you are deciding to head towards your Queen of Wands, because basically you're unhappy. Let's have a look at the Two of Cups. I think, Aquarius, you met your true soulmate. You met the other half of you, okay? You met the yin to your yang. You could have met your true divine twin for some of you. Let's have a look at the Two of Cups. You felt very close to this person. Yeah. You might have tried to maneuver, in the nicest sense, yourself into their life. You might have tried to keep them in your life, even though they might have known the truth. Yeah. As maybe someone who was part of a group of friends of yours maybe the way you tried to keep this woman in your life was to say to her, well, I know that you're not very comfortable with my situation, but we can see each other now and again because we're in the same friendship group, that sort of thing. But in the past, Aquarius, you might have felt, you know what, this can't last forever. She might have felt a bit annoyed, feeling, well, yes, you know, we're in the same group of friends, but I know what you're really wanting. We're ending up spending time together, but I know that you're married and this is making me feel uncomfortable. I think that's what that was, the moon. Yeah. I think, Aquarius, you began to feel nervous, realizing that she wasn't very happy about this. She wasn't happy about this, Aqua. Could have been a Leo. She could have been a Leo. Strength card. She might be a Leo with the energy of strength. I think eventually, Aquarius, you realized it was too awkward for you both, and either you pulled back or she pulled back. After that time, Aqua, with the energy of the Seven of Wands, you were a little defensive because you felt stuck, right? Yeah. And with the Nine of Swords, you were having sleepless nights. Also, Aquarius, you might have been worried that people would find out your secret, find out that you really wanted to be with the Queen of Wands. You were nervous, guys. And on top of that, you felt heartbroken. Because what you recognized was this Queen of Wands wasn't having any of it. She wasn't having any of it. I think this was very painful for you, this realization. Yeah, she might even have blocked you. Two of Swords. Okay. So Aquarius, King of Swords. You're in a cold partnership. There's no love between you and the Queen of Swords. I think you two have made an agreement to stay married and to simply live separate lives. So because of that, Aqua, and because you feel that this Queen of Wands is finally deciding to really move forward in her life, you are deciding to take a leap of faith and see whether or not she will be open to building on this again. But the reason why I think, Aqua, you've been reticent to approach her, you might have stayed away from her for a very long time, was first of all, you might have felt she was upset. Second of all, she actually blocked you. Thirdly, Aquarius, nothing's changed in your situation. Yes, you may be not getting on with your wife, but you have decided to stay legally married. So basically what you're thinking about is, I'm not offering her a commitment. If I pursue her again, I'm not actually offering her a commitment. So guys, with the energy of the King of Swords in your thoughts, you are trying to decide, do I move towards her in a soft energy? Do I move towards her in a very strong, you know, these are the facts, take it or leave it type of energy? You don't know. You don't know. Six of Wands. Yes. Do you move towards her in a super confident energy? Hey babe, how are things? Yeah, sorry about before. Just wondered if you're up for a coffee next week, that sort of thing. Okay. Or do you approach her in a very soft energy? The start. Or do you approach her with, I hope you're well. I do apologize about the past. I understand that you may not want to see me, but it will be lovely to have a chat. It's up to you. Take it or leave it, but it will be really nice to see you. You don't know. You don't know which emotion to embody when, I think when, because you will, when you approach this woman. What else are you considering? Yeah, Aquarius, you have been in suspension. You have been in suspension. You've been holding yourself up off the ground, feeling totally ungrounded. Not knowing whether or not you should sort of drop anchor, not knowing whether or not you should try this. But I think you're going to. I think you're going to. Because you want to move at least to calmer waters with this woman. Six of Swords is that. You don't want there to be animosity, anger, stress between you two anymore. What you're thinking about is, even if she accepts me as a friend in her life, I may just have to cope with that. But I'd rather that than nothing. You know, Queen of Pentacles. So Aquarius, you've moved to calmer waters with your Queen of Swords, who would be your Queen of Pentacles. You're coming through as the King of Pentacles. You've moved to calmer waters with your wife. You have agreed to stay married, but there's no love in the connection. What you're thinking about is, could you make this Queen of Wands your, in the nicest sense, Aquarius, your other partner? Because we have two female Queen of Pentacles here, technically. And we have you as a King of Pentacles. So I don't know, Aqua, whether or not in an ideal world, if you could agree with your partner that you two would actually legally separate to live, you know, completely separately, maybe for years on end, would this Queen of Wands eventually agree to, say, a living situation with you ongoing? That may be what you're hoping for, Aqua. So in the immediate future, we have you. You're coming through as a King of Wands. You're taking action. You are in hot pursuit of the Queen of Wands, who is facing the opposite direction, cantering off in another direction away from you in the energy of the Knight of Wands. Because she's become enlightened Aquarius that, having waited and coasted, you're not making any change to your relationship. So she's decided, okay, no point in hanging around and waiting. I'm getting on with my life now. And that, together with a rather cold conversation with your partner, is instigating you to take action. Archangel Michael, when do we have the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands for Aquarius? Thank you, Michael. A strange date. Okay, the 13th of September. 13th of September, so a month and a bit, a month and 2 weeks, okay? It's pointing forward to the 26th of September. That's it. Let's have a look at the energy of your Queen of Wands. What's her energy? Her energy is the Queen of Cups. She could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. She has feelings for you, Aqua. What is on her mind? She has feelings for you, but she's either thinking of a Capricorn. She could be interested in pursuing a Capricorn masculine. Or what she's thinking about is she doesn't believe your situation has changed. So if you're approaching her, Aqua, what she's thinking about is, I doubt Aquarius's situation has changed. I don't think Aquarius is coming to me to say, I'm considering getting divorced. What is the energy she is sat in? This Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, she's coming through as a pre-empress. So she's learned a lot of lessons. She's gone through a bit of a tough time. She has managed, though, to pull herself up out of any difficulties. She's worked hard on herself. She has got herself into a place where she is stable. Tell us more about this Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. Four of Wands. Okay, she's gained stability for herself. She's gained some kind of stability for herself. And she might have had some good luck in her life, or this can be the universe rewarding her by helping her move into a place of stability in her own life as a single woman. So she is taking that sense of stability, independence, and shifting her life in another direction. She's basically forgetting all about this, Aqua, at this point, this past situation with you. Page of Swords. Okay, she's not afraid to stand up for herself. For some of you, this could be a single mother, could be, you know, a woman who had a baby with someone else, or this is just her energy, Page of Swords. She's not playing, Aqua. Okay, the Fool. She may be cross if you move towards her with a lot of passion, because she's just going to look at you, Aquarius, and say, do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm a fool? I'm not going to take this risk with you. I don't think you're single. I'm moving forward with my life. So she's not going to be, you know, all warm and fluffy and happy, Aquarius. She's going to be a bit guarded. She may even be a bit affronted. Wow. What are you saying to her, Aqua? Yeah, the Emperor. You may say to her you have a lot of people who rely on you. And so it's not as easy as just getting divorced, right? You may also say to her, look, you know, I'm not trying to pull you into some kind of sordid affair situation. I do want to act with integrity, but I've got to be honest, you know, I am still married. Okay, what else are you going to say? Judgment. But my wife and I have made a decision about the status of our connection. Okay. We are going to stay legally married, but literally it is a legal contract. There's no love, there's no togetherness. We're not close anymore. We don't spend time together anymore. And so we've agreed to manifest independent lives. Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini. What else are you going to say to your Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups? You may, Aquarius, say, I'm sorry about the past. I'm sorry about what happened in the past. Five of Cups. It was disappointing for me too. And you might also say to her that with the energy of the Hermit, either you felt disappointed in your wife, Queen of Pentacles, if she is a Virgo, or you may say to this Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on what I want for my future, and I really just wanted to reconnect with you, is what I'm getting from this. Now, she may feel, Aqua, if there's still attraction between you two, it's a bit of a slippery slope, right? Yes, Aquarius, do you really think we can see each other now and again for coffee or lunch and nothing happens between us? She may feel that what you're really trying to do, Aqua, is find a way back into her life. Let's have a look at the energy between you two. She's a little reticent, Aqua. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. What you're initially suggesting is friendship. And again, we all know where that goes. But Aquarius, you may feel she wouldn't accept anything else, because what you're recognizing is almost immediately when you approach her is, hang on, Aqua, what do you think you're doing, Aqua? Aren't you still married? Right? What you're recognizing is she's not necessarily angry and or upset anymore. She may be willing to talk to you, but she's resolute in her personal belief, which is, I do not want to get embroiled with a man who is married to another woman. She's sitting in pre-empress energy. She's very independent. I feel the universe is protecting her here with a wheel of destiny, trying to shift her forward as an independent woman into a new cycle. And Aquarius, you're coming in saying, you know, lovely to see you. Sorry about before. Can we catch up? Can we keep in touch? She may feel, Aquarius, it's risky. She may. And you may know that. You may know that. Because what you're fearing is Ace of Cups. All you could offer her is love. And love is love. It's a powerful emotion. But I'm hearing for this caliber of woman, okay, she deserves to be offered far more. And you may know that. You're hoping for the Ace of Wands? And then Aquarius, interestingly, we have you sat thinking about the Hierophant. Now, you could be married to a Taurian. You may be going back to your wife to say, I don't know whether or not this arrangement is going to be good for me. You wanting to stay married, maybe for financial reasons, you may be changing your mind. Or Aquarius, you're doing a lot of soul searching about marriage in general. The Hierophant is a very traditional situation. So shall we have a look? Let's have a look at the Hierophant for Aquarius. Interesting, the Seven of Cups. After this conversation with your Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, Aquarius, whatever she suggests, she might say, okay, friends, but once in a while, Aqua, and it doesn't mean friends with benefits. She's very strong in that. Whatever you two agree on, talk about, you're then going to sit thinking about options and thinking about marriage, your marriage. This is you pulling back to reassess. Five of Swords. Okay, yeah. Aquarius, what you're recognizing is this Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands is simply uninterested, because you may feel the truth is, I sabotaged this with her in the past. I sabotaged this connection with her in the past because I tried to hang on to her as a married man and she got upset. That's why she blocked me. What you're recognizing is, Aquarius, she's not sitting there pointing the finger anymore. She's getting on with her life, but her core values have not changed. And what you're thinking about is, okay, I really do believe I've sabotaged this connection with my Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. That is the truth. It was sabotaged by me a long time ago. No matter what I say, no matter, what I do, in trying to bring us together in some form of situation here, she is simply going to say no. She's simply going to say no. You're recognizing that. Yeah. And so, Aquarius, you're back at crossroads, trying to decide what to do. Trying to decide what to do. Yeah. Because, Aquarius, you do want to build with this woman. You do want to build some kind of life with this woman. But what you're thinking about is it's still a third party. Three of Pentacles. And she's not having it. How is your partner feeling at this point of time? Oh, gosh. Aquarius, she feels betrayed. Ten of Swords. Your partner feels betrayed. Your partner may feel, Aquarius, that the first thing you would have done after this very cold conversation with her is move towards somebody you were interested in. She might have felt that was the reason why you had a conversation with her about living separate lives but staying married. I think she's figured out the truth, and it hurts her, but what can she do? Eight of Pentacles. She knows that, Aquarius, you want to work on a situation with another woman. Okay, so she is unhappy about that, but she's resigned because it's kind of either that or divorce. And I think she wants to stay in a place of stability. Are you going to talk again to the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups? Because this is you in your head about your marriage. The World. I think, Aqua, what you're recognizing is you've got two choices. You've got two choices. This is you weighing up the pros and cons. What you're recognizing is you either say to your wife, okay, I think we should legally separate so we are living independent lives and make it official, make it legal. Or, Aquarius, you are going to have to forget all about this Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. You may feel that if you move her into a compromise situation. If you say to her, look, I have legally separated from my wife, here are the papers, I'm living completely separately, she lives miles away from me, right? Then what you're thinking about is she might accept working on the situation with you. But it's again, it's a risk. There's no guarantee. Or you completely forget about the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, Aquarius, and maybe just live your own life for a period of time and see what happens. But I think the whole reason why you're reapproaching her again is you truly believe that she was the one for you. So Aqua, what are you going to do pertaining to the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups? You are going to express love. I do love you. I still love you. What is her reaction? Five of Pentacles. She's either going to say, Aquarius, but you left me out in the cold. Or what she's going to say to you, Aquarius, is, okay, if you love me, then you would be ready to do the needful to leave your wife, to move into divorce, to be with me. Unfortunately, Aqua, she's going to turn it around on you. Oh, so you are in love with me still? Okay, great. So why isn't that enough for you to fully leave your partnership, for you to actually divorce? What you're recognizing, guys, is there's no halfway house with this pre-Empress. There is no halfway house. You either stay married and you two disconnect, and that's that, or you actually divorce your wife, go through what you need to go through, dividing the assets, sorting out child support, moving out of the house, whatever this is, to offer her a stable commitment, potential marriage in the future. It's very black and white, Aquarius. That's what you're realizing. There's no, well, maybe we could live together for a period of time. She's just not going to allow it, because she knows that, you know, after a couple of months, you could pack up and say, sorry, darling, it's been a fun couple of months, but I'm going back to my wife. And she would not only feel as if she's wasted time on you, but she would be devastated. Okay, Aqua, so you just wanted a couple of months break from your wife so that you could have some fun with me, see what it was like living with me, and then, oh, maybe I'll go back to my wife. She's feeling, Aqua, that that might be what would happen, and she is putting her foot down. So do we have a final card for Aqua? My goodness. Queen of Swords. Aquarius. I think, Aqua, you feel stuck between a rock and a hard place, because you have your wife coming through as the Queen of Swords, looking at you from a distance, trying to figure out whether or not you want to get serious with this other woman. And you have this other woman saying to you, Aqua, I am sorry, but it's just not good enough. So Aquarius, you're sat in the middle, you know your partner's hurting because you're trying to develop a new relationship with this other woman. And this other woman is angry because you are resolutely saying, I am not going to divorce. So something's got to give, Aqua. If you want this woman, something's got to give. You are right in the middle of a situation with two women in your life. Your partner's upset with you. This other woman feels as if she deserves a proper commitment. And Aquarius, you don't know what to do. So guys, I think, Aqua, you are going to rethink about your marriage situation again. And it might be that in September, you reach out to the third party for another conversation. I think that's what you're going to do. This is you basically putting together all the facts, reconnecting with this other woman, finding out how she really feels. She does still love you, but she's standing her ground. And I think this is you knowing deep down that emotionally your long-term partnership is done. Emotionally, it's over. So now it's your decision, Aqua, as to what you're going to do. I think you're going to revisit this situation with your Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. You're going to talk to her again in September. You might want another couple of months to think about things, or a month and a half, right? From mid-September. All right, guys. So to finish off the reading, let's see what the universe has to say. So here we go, Aquarius. This is the Enchanted Forest. So Archangel Michael, what does the universe want to say to my lovely Aquarians to close out their August reading? Thank you, Michael. Aquarius, yes, what do you want? The universe is saying, Aquarius, we want to give you what you want, but what do you want? If you react negatively to the success and joy of others, it's a sign that you want more for yourself. Don't hold yourself back. Expand your comfort zone. So, Aqua, is this partly to do with the fact that you're stuck in a marriage that's cold, you're stuck in a situation that makes you feel frustrated, whilst you see this Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, pre-Empress, sat in the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, moving forward into a beautiful new cycle, sitting in the energy of the sun, and you're cross about that. I should be in that life with this woman, right? Why am I stuck in this marriage? Well, because you're hanging on to it for stability. The universe is saying, what do you want, Aquarius? Do you want real lasting love, or do you want financial stability? It may be that is the question. All right, guys. So I am going to leave it there. I really hope it's helped. Take care of you. And of course, I'm sending love and light your way and many blessings, Aqua. Bye, guys.